Hi, how are you today? I hope you're okay. I'm recording this and it is the afternoon, but I wonder if you're watching this in the morning or maybe the afternoon, the same as me. And it's quite cloudy today. I hope it's nice when you watch this. Maybe it will be a bit sunnier on the day that you watch this. So we are back to doing some phonics. Are you ready? Okay, we're going to do a couple of things first. First of all, I'm going to move my chair out of the way. And I want you to do some jumping again. Can you remember we did some jumping? Let's do some star jumps. Let's do some pencil jumps. And can we do a twist jump? Nearly. Okay. Then can you do some pointing? So maybe you can see a plant on my screen. Can you point to my plant? There it is. Can you point to the photograph? Fantastic. Okay, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to think something really funny and I want you to have a bit of a laugh. Ready? You might have to pretend. Can I hear your laughs? Fantastic. And then the last thing, you have to really imagine that this time you've got something really heavy that you are trying to bring into your house or your garden, and I want you to pull it. So you have to get your hands on the rope and I want you to pull. Ready? Oh, still not coming. Try again. Wow, fantastic. I think we're ready to go. Now, don't think that I've gone mad. There was a reason why I got you to do those things. Okay, let me share my screen with you and see if you can spot those words again that we've just been doing. Okay, here we go. So we had 4 words, didn't we? We had jump, which we did. We had point, we had laugh, and we had pulled. Can you see what I've done to those 4 words? Shout it out to me. Hopefully you'll be able to see that I have added ed to each of those words. And ed is a suffix, so it joins at the end of the word. Here's my dinosaur. Joins at the end of the word, doesn't it? Fantastic. I would like you to choose one of those words. I'd like you to pause the video and I'd like you to say a sentence including that word to the person you're with. Off you go. Okay, so yesterday we learned about adding ed. It was really easy, wasn't it? Because we just had a word and we just added ed to the end. We fixed it to the end of that word. But I told you that there were some different rules, didn't I? That it wasn't as simple as that for every word. And so today we're going to look at some sets of words where we have to do something different when we're adding ed. Okay, can you see the 5 words I've got on the screen there? And I've highlighted some of the letters in red. Now those letters are vowels. And I think you've heard about that before because I was talking to Mr. McInnes about that. Those are vowels. And he told me about a little rhyme that you've done. An elephant in olive underpants. Can you remember that? Can you say it with me? If you're not sure, I've written it at the bottom of the screen. Okay. An elephant in olive underpants. Fantastic. And those words all start with the different vowels. So we have A, E, I, O, and U. And it's really important that we know what our vowels are because that is going to help us as we work with the suffix ed today. And all we need to know about the other letters is that they're called consonants. Okay, so we've got those vowels and everything else is a consonant. Now just pause the video, talk to the person next to you. What do you notice about where those vowels are in the words that I've got on the screen now? Okay, hopefully you have spotted that the vowel comes before the last letter. Can you see that? the red letter comes before one black letter. So the vowel is just before the last letter. And that's going to help us today because we have to do something extra today when we're adding ED. And I'm going to just go on to the next screen to show you. So we had the word chop. Now, because the vowel is just before that last letter, we're going to add one more P to the end. And then we're going to add ED. So that will make chopped. Can you see? Let's have a go at another one. So I've got the word grab. Grab. The vowel A is just before the last letter. So I'm going to double that last letter. I'm going to add one more B, and then I'm going to add ED, and that will make the word grabbed. So I'm going to leave those on the screen, and I would like you to have a go at these two. What about hug? And what about skip? Pause the video and have a go yourself. Okay, so with the word hug, we've got a vowel, U, just before the last letter. So we're going to add an extra G, G, to that word, and then we're going to add ED. So we will have hugged. Give yourself a hug. Yes. And then we've got the word skip, and the vowel I, or I, is just before that last letter. So we're going to add one more P and then ED. So then we'd have skipped. Okay. So what I've got here are 8 words, but I've made it a little bit tricky today because you've got to make a choice. You have to decide whether we just add ED and we just fix it to the end of the word, or do we need to double that last letter before we add ED? Okay, so remember, you will need to look for where the vowel is. Is the vowel just before that last letter? Because if it is, you will need to double the last letter before you add ED. Now, I have drawn a little chart on the screen, and you can copy that onto your whiteboard or onto your paper. And on one side, you just want the words where you add ED. And on the other side, you're going to write the words where you need to double the last letter before you add ED. And you can choose the words in whatever order you like, doesn't matter. Have a go and see if you can sort them in the right column on the table. So pause the video now and have a go. Wow, I wonder how you found that. I wonder if it took you a long time or if you were really speedy. If you found that really, really easy to do, can you give me a A-OK sign? Yeah, that was perfect. If you found it a little bit tricky to decide, can you give a, it was okay? And if you found it really, really hard, can you say, it was tricky, Mrs. Martin? It's not easy, so don't worry. If you found it hard, we're going to keep practicing tomorrow as well. Okay, but that's now 2 ways we know how to add ED. The first way, we just fix it to the end of the word. And the second way, we have to double the last letter before adding ED. And we have to look really carefully for our vowels so that we know where they are and know whether we need to double it. Wow, I think you've worked really hard if you've been able to sort all of those out. So why don't you give yourself a nice pat on the back? Fantastic. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay, take care. Bye.